Hello, welcome back to Otter Pop Culture. Today we're going over the first album by Sydney-based rapper called Mask Wolf and his album called Astronomical. So this guy has popped into my space. I think it's this one little thing I can say is that I knew astronaut in the ocean before a year before people start getting into it in America. So it's kind of funny to just hear it at first because I came across it in some random radio on Spotify and I liked it. And then I kept going. I was like, okay, I'm gonna keep on watching him a little bit. And I got into Switch, and I thought that was okay, but I still was like, okay, there's still more that he's gonna provide. So I pretty much was just waiting for him to add more songs, and he definitely did. But the funny thing is that around 2000, or the song resurfaced, the astronaut in the ocean resurfaced in 2021, and so I was like, oh, am I crazy or did this just it's what's going on? So what happened is pretty much he's part of two record companies. So he has one record company that's in Sydney, and then one record company that's with Atlantic. So pretty much in that situation, I think the idea was to re-release it for the American audience because it was one of the things that broke. It was one of his biggest breakout kind of singles. So I think they wanted to cash in on it a little bit more so that more people can kind of experience it, which is, I guess, it really worked out. So on forward, he released more singles, and now he has officially released his first album. What I think about it, I think it's okay. I think that there's certain songs that I definitely really like, and there's certain songs I just felt like it kind of set the same thing over and over again. I feel like after Paper Planes, it kind of falls into a space where it kind of feels like it's I don't know. I didn't really start anything after that. I do want to point out that Reflections is a really good song, but I felt like there's a handful of songs that kind of didn't really feel like it wasn't really saying anything else other than what the last song said. So let me go through this and kind of break it down a bit. So first of all, I want to point out that I love the fact that it started off with the song Astronomical, and I love the idea that it's kind of themed around a kind of a spacey theme, and you can kind of low-key hear it inside the production as well. So I give so much credit to that because I love when albums connect in that way. It's not just it's not called Cheetos and doesn't have anything about Cheetos inside the song or album. So yeah, so let me go through some of the songs I like. So first off, I really, really like Gravity Gliding, and I know that's the second single to this, but I really, really like it. I love how it starts immediately. It has that kind of a Kanye beginning, and then it kind of smooths out, and I love his voice because he just, it just feels like he rides over it. And I love the fact that his rapping has a mix between he'll be kind of going intense and then he'll literally back it up a bit so he can give you a little cruise control kind of direction. I don't know, this feels like a very cruise control type of song, and I really like it. Going into another one I like is Bop. Oh, Say So and then Bop. So Say So I like, not not entirely, or no, I do like the song. I love the message. The idea of pretty much being yourself and not pretending that there's no problem with you, because everybody always has problems, as he's pointing out, and you don't have to pretend that you're doing great when you're really not. So he says, but one of the things that the life makes you feel like you have to do that. So for example, he'll say, everybody gotta say that they ball, even when their castle's about to crumble or fall. So yeah, so I felt like in that direction, it felt like it's a point out. It's it's okay to not be okay. It's okay to be in a space where you're not really doing the best. You're not doing your greatest, and you're not having money flying out your hands all day. It's okay to point out hey, I'm not in that space, because it's okay. Because a lot of people will make you feel like you need to be Instagram ready at all points, Going into Bop is another one I like. This is the fourth single to this album. I like the production. I think it's really nice. I will say some of the lyrics is kind of floppy in a way. I don't really care for everything you do is ordinary, everything I do is extraordinary. And I was like, yeah, I get that. And then he kind of repeated it over and over again. I was like, let's pull back on this because we get it. Like, I don't know. It just, maybe it's the idea that we've already talked about a good handful of times of being the best. But yeah, so that's one of my critiques about the song. But the sound of the song is really nice, and he does a really great job overall in the song. Where's Wally is when you finally get into that kind of like the meat of the art of the album, and you start hearing, like, this one, for example, feels like it's talking about, like, people that doubted him, and this is the first time he talks about it, so you get to hear about how he feels. He says, when the pain comes back around, that's when a man like me feels hopeless, made fun for my accent, now they hit me up last week, back when I didn't want to, I wanted to join, I wasn't in their league. So pretty much in this situation, he has been working on being a really great rapper and trying to get into the industry. And whenever he tries to do something, there always was somebody that came at him and is like, "You're nothing. You're not in our league. You're not even a space you're not even in this vicinity of where we're supposed to be. You're whack, I guess." And I think that he points it out. It's like, yeah, but those same exact people come around now. And they're like, "Oh my God, you're so amazing." Going into, well, I'll do a couple shout outs. So, because this were parts where it starts not really starring a lot of, I don't really start a lot of things. So, shout out to, Ain't Gonna Change. I do like the message in that one. I love the guitar kind of throughout it. It's really nice. And him just talking about, he's like, I don't need, the hotel suite, the dope ass parties, ain't gonna change. Pretty much just pointing out to himself, is like, I'm gonna stay true to myself no matter how much money I get, no matter who the people I'm around. I have to remember where I came from, and remember to be humble, and know that I'm like, not to remember to be myself, to stay true to myself. I do like that. Paper Planes was the one I really want to point out, is I like this one because it feels like it talks about one of the things that I feel like he low-key talks about that I feel like people don't really catch, is that he talks about his mental health. And he talks about being depressed and being in a space where you're trying to make something out of yourself or try to make it in the industry, and there's days that you just feel like shit. There's days that you just don't feel like you're really making any moves. You feel like things are taking way too long. And I feel like he talks about that, which I really appreciate, especially from a rapper, because it's so easy to go very braggadocious and just not talk about your problems and not talk about anything that's personal about yourself to kind of make you, but I feel like this is a great direction to make you more relatable. And I feel like the fact that he did that is really good. Kudos to him. Because one of the things he says is like, I used to hate my days. Everything felt the same. I used to love to go to sleep. That's how you dodge the pain. Or that's how you dodge the pain. What I mean, I'd fall before I flew. Just like Paper Planes. Pretty much saying, just like, I had to go through these things just so I can fly again. And those are what happened. You know, I think he's trying to I think it's a weird kind of, you're probably experiencing this too, but just know that these kind of failures are getting to your point where you're going to be the goal, or we're going to find your goal. He says, only made a hit after I shot a lot of misses. I love that kind of line right there. I did start that song, by the way. And then we kind of go into other songs. So this is where we kind of get to the space where we're kind of repeating things. Shout out to the switch up that happened in the Interstellar. I do like that one. I think that one's really nice. Lyrics I couldn't find. That's another thing. I could barely find any lyrics from this album, but I did find enough, or I kind of rewind to like write things down so I remember what he was saying. But yeah, that's pretty much I got from this one. Like what else do I want to shout out to Reflections. I love that one. I feel like that one's a nice little idea of make sure that if you're getting money, that if your goal is to make money, or your goal is to make it big, remember that to not make that your full-on goal. Like, don't make, because once that's part of you, then if it's money that you're only looking for, the money is going to be the one that changes you. It's going to be one that defines you, instead of you and your experience of your personal life experience being that defined you of who you are. He says, make that bread, but don't make you dead. Trust me, the hill's steep, but once you are at the top, yeah, the walk down sweet. Pretty much saying, just like, keep going, because as much as this, of course, it's steep to go up, but once you're up there, you're up there. And then if you want to, and as you go climbing down, which is that part is like, I always feel like when things go downhill, it's always a bad thing, but I wonder if he means like, it's once you go down, or once you kind of, I don't know. I actually don't really know what he means about that. I wonder what he means. Comment below if you know. But pretty much in that direction, I as much as that is what I don't know what it means, I do like the lyrics of that. That's pretty much it. Oh, I want to shout out to Kevin Gates on The Thief in the Night. As much as I didn't really start that song, I definitely did like the fact that he killed his verse was amazing. I love the part that he says, "I'm flyer than one of those pelican feathers." I don't know why that really stuck out to me, but I really like it. And of course, we end the album with "Astronaut in the Ocean," which of course is a really good song. So I started, of course, the first single to this album. But that's pretty much it. What I got for this. I'm not like, oh my god, it was amazing, which is I was really more hoping for. But yeah. Yeah, I'm not really too, like, I like some of the songs, but I feel like a lot of the songs I do like are kind of more of the singles, so it's kind of awkward. But there are some songs that weren't singles that I do like, which is the ones that where he talks about himself, where he actually explains what he's been through and what he's like, when he gets a little more personal is when I really, really like him. When the braggadocious parts happens, it gets too repetitive. Leave a comment below, tell me what you thought. I give this one I'll give it a 7 out of 10. Leave a comment below to me what you thought, of course. And if you like this video, hit the like button, subscribe button, notification bell too, so you get more of my videos. And thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you all in the next video.